Investing. Oh, hey, Molly. Trading. First, we got to get some things in orders. Hyuks aside, did you get your hyuks in? Hyuk. This video is meant to be a practical stepping stone to take the first steps towards achieving financial freedom. You probably heard of it and are inflamed by it the way I am. I'm here with you. I'm not there yet, but I've taken a few steps, and from where I'm standing, I can look back and see, okay, yeah, I know these steps well enough, and they've gotten to me where I want to get so far that I can begin to present this in my own way. And that's what this is. It's not investment advice, not financial advice. It's pretty much a spark-noted version of a part of Scott Trench's book called Set for Life, presented in my own way. It's edutainment, with some information that you can use to do whatever you want with. The first 25,000 is the hardest. Put yourself in a position where you have over a year of financial runway by focusing heavily on the preservation of your median income, your regular 9 to 5 average income, cutting out spending where it will have the most impact, and accumulating at least 1 year of spending in readily available cash or equivalent liquidity, easily accessible money. This runway gives you the freedom and the ability to make your first big investment, and it will make the next step of building wealth way easier. So it gives you accessible wealth, not just a 401k that maybe one day you'll look at. You need real money, after tax, in the bank, ready to spend. I got a thing or two to say about banks, but that's another video. You've probably seen it. Really, you just gotta be happy living a low-cost lifestyle, $2K a month or less. Lifestyle minimalism is really the wave nowadays. Even billionaires are doing it, so if you're not doing that, building the first 25K through frugality. The first 5 figures of standing wealth is made by saving pennies. You preserve earned income. You know, it's not really about making a lot of money, it's about keeping the money that you do make. There are doctors who can't really manage their money. And there are janitors I know who are doing very well with what they make. You gotta do 3 things here. You gotta accumulate real assets that produce income and increase in value. Real estate, stocks, crypto. Constantly seek to invest this capital efficiently. You know, no YOLOing into meme stocks, unless you got a plan. Design a lifestyle that costs as little as practical, that passively generates income and can pay for your wealth building process. It all begins with the accumulation of capital from the full-time employee. So first you gotta get a job. You gotta get that income stream. But even if you don't have an income stream, beginning to look at how you would be able to divvy out your income is a good way to start. So why is it that wealth creation actually begins with frugality and not making a bunch of money? Well, frugality enables you to seek opportunity. You can't really seek a greater opportunity right now, because if you lose all your eggs in one basket, one income stream, you're screwed. Frugality is not really invasive to one's lifestyle relative to moonlighting. That's like working after at work on your business. It opens up opportunities. So you can sacrifice a little bit. You can live in a cheaper place, closer to work, save on rent, time, and money during the commute, spend more time with family, and drastically increase your savings rate. Because our tax system favors the saver, not the earner. Income is taxed in the USA, not wealth. Get that? It's the income that is taxed, not your wealth. More earnings means more taxes. A penny saved is better than a penny earned, because every dollar you spend is after tax. Every dollar you earn is pre-tax. So you earn money, you're going to have to pay taxes on it. But after you've spent the money, you've already paid taxes. Preservation of capital should be the primary starting focus for the financially ambitious 9 to 5er. The psychology of frugality. the motivation to live a life lived on your terms. If that's really what you want, then you have the focus to get through this whole video. If the mind is not here for this, then skip it and watch cat videos, dude. Pursue this goal based on your deepest emotional desires. Do not allow shallow, short-term emotions ruin your goals. Yeah, I could go to Whataburger right now and get me a Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwich, but like the $5 I'd spend on that is like $500 I'm taking from myself 10 years from now, because I know where I could put that money. Needless spending delays your financial freedom. Budgets are useful, but not critical. You may not even spend anything on any of these things for a given month. You know, there's some examples here: $100 on clothing, $200 for a meal out, $150 gas per month. The reason why you're working towards financial freedom needs to be at the forefront of every financial decision. When you prioritize the end goal over short-term urges, what that looks like is, well, okay, I want that Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwich, but why am I doing this? What is the end goal? And really, that is so much more important than buffalo sauce. Be reasonably competent in fixing day-to-day problems. This is pretty interesting. Yeah, when you're an entrepreneur, you want to outsource everything you can. You know, if you can do something, if somebody else can do something at least 80% better than, as good as you, then just pay someone to do it. But for us, where we're at right now, plumbing, mechanic, health, accounting, etc., we got to do all this our own, because it'll give us that foundation of like, yeah, I already did all that, so I understand what that person I have to hire in the future needs to do, because I already did it. My budgeting spreadsheets, this whole sheet, my investing plans, my trading plans, I'm doing it all on my own. So don't hire out the tasks unless it's potentially catastrophic consequences of misdiagnosing the problem. You know, I'm probably not going to fix my own car, like get into the engine, and if it's like a really, really technical thing that I like changing the oil, I'm going to do that. You know, any job that can be done in one full business day and needs to be done ASAP, like that, you can hire out. The potentially catastrophic stuff. Issues with completing the work would create unreasonable liability. Yeah, like I'm not going to try to fix my own roof. Hire a specialist only in select and truly unique situations after you've done exhaustive research and know exactly what you need done and how you want it done. And like I said, those earning upwards of $500K a year should hire out as much as possible, because the time that you're spending to change your oil is probably time that you've lost. You could have made another 100K. So excellence rather than the best is quite good enough. So it's like, yeah, if I'm gonna, you know, if I want to go to the gym, I'm not gonna get the absolute best gym out there. No, third best is good for where we're at right now. Cost effectiveness. And here's a breakdown: how to live an efficient lifestyle, an overview of average American spending habits. Now, you don't necessarily have to tailor your life to this exact chart, but it just gives an overview of like what we're really seeing in this country. You may tweak it, and I actually think that it's best to tweak it depending on your personal situation, because not everyone's going to have the same housing costs, transportation costs, and all this sort of stuff. We can track these major life expenditures in order of significance. We got fixed expenses, which are subject to significant lasting change if managed, meaning that these are the biggest ones to tackle. If you want to reduce spending in certain categories, we got to hit these fixed expenses first. The rent, the car payment, the phone bill, the internet bill, house, all this stuff. You know? The variable expenses are generally here to stay. They're probably gonna, they're not going anywhere, and they're not really the problem. And because they're not really that big in the grand scheme of things, like dining out, food, entertainment, apparel, unless you're just spending like a madman. Usually these things don't even really need to be cut out so much. And it seems kind of counterintuitive. Like, what? Like, no, I gotta stop going out. I gotta kill my social life because I gotta get financial freedom. Like, ultimately, it's those big ones: rent, transportation. You manage those, you can live a life, dog. For example, you're in a $250 a month, $3K a year. Or sorry, you're spending $250 a month, $3K a year, spent dining out with friends and fam, living your life, spending time with the people you love. It's such a minor part of the budget. Cutting this may affect relationships and make you miserable. We're social creatures. I want to hang out with you. But the fixed ones, green, moving from a fancy $1,300 a month studio apartment to a smaller 2-bed apartment with a roommate for the same price. That saves you a good amount of money, and it doesn't really require sacrificing any day-to-day recreational activities. Don't sacrifice the little things, change the big things. Renting. I heard this really interesting thing. I'm like, I need to pay for my own equity. I need to buy a home because, I'm just wasting money. I'm throwing money away in rent. But they say, rent where you live, buy where you rent. For people in our situation, with our goals. Because if I own Silver Green, what it do? I'll link you in the description too. He's a mentor of mine. If you are the ambitious entrepreneur or just trying to get to where you're trying to get to, you need to know that your expenses will be predictable. If I'm renting somewhere, I know my rent's going to be $1,200 a month. That's an obvious. Anything gets broken or anything like that, I don't need to fix that. That's the landlord's job. But if I own a place and the roof breaks or we got foundation issues, those are huge expenses that are kind of unforeseen and they're unpredictable. I can't really do that right now. So you want to find an apartment that can be affordably rented. Make sure it's as close to work as practical. Split the costs with your roommates. And no single financial change is more important than where you choose to rest your head at night. This is the one thing that will have the biggest impact on your savings rate. Do this for the first year or two until you can buy your first property, if that's what your goal is. The commute is the second biggest significant expense. This is more than just gas. It sucks out hours of your life. Probably get pissed off on the road sometimes too. You want that? So an average of like half an hour to work each day, every way, is what we're seeing in America. Costs about 50 cents a mile to operate a vehicle in 2016. And if your average Joe earns $50K a year, this costs Joe about $20 a day in driving costs. $20 a day in time lost. And over the 260-day work year, we're looking at about $4,400 in driving costs and about $5,600 in lost time. That's like $10K a year just driving to work, not to mention all the other costs involved in the commute. Folks with longer commutes have higher blood pressure. They're less fit. They're less happy. They're more stressed out. There's a lot more anxiety. Bike or walk more if you can. Drive less. And if you really see what I'm getting at here, it's foolish to dismiss this advice. You fool! Different ways to commute. Worst to best. Ooh! I know people. I love you, but maybe you should be watching this video. Newer, financed, 4-wheel drive vehicle that gets like less than 20 miles per gallon over a distance of 10 miles per day. Oof. Your trucks. Your troquita. The cost of debt. You got a $30,000 car with $1,500 down payment, ends up with a loan balance that's worth more than the car. Look at that. Like $30K loan financed at 4.5% interest for the next 5 years. You're paying like $1,400 in interest alone in the first year. over $4,000 over the life of the loan. It's expensive to get in debt, is what all that's saying. And then depreciation, the moment you drive that baby off the lot, that troquita is like you're losing a lot of value, 10%, and then additional 10% after the first year. And after 5 years, it's a loss of 60% of its value. That's like investing in a stock and having it go 60% down in the first year. You want things to go up. So now think about a $33,000 car worth $30K after it's driven off the lot. Then after the first year, it's only about $25K, and after 5 years, it's down to like $13K. So total loss in value is like $20,000 lost after 5 years. When you invest in something, you want a $20,000 gain in 5 years. Even that's slow gains. Not to mention gas, insurance, registration, maintenance, oil changes, washing, etc. So the average cost of a car ownership is like $10K a year. Oof. Those who need cars will find sufficiency in efficient, used economy vehicles like a Toyota Corolla, Nissan Sentra, Honda Civic. I got a Honda Fit, 2011 Honda Fit. I love the little thing. Little hatchback, little egg of life. Little excuse to buy anything other than these. If we're in the same position here, why are you driving that truck, dude? Walk or bike to work. Food. Yeah, that's the third largest expenditure here. 1/8 of the budget of most average Americans. 3K out of 7K comes from eating food away from the home. Fast food, restaurants, bars. Healthy, delicious food can be and is prepared at home for less than $300 a month per person. No, you don't have to skip out on happy hours with friends. Just follow these tips. Always have the ready option for a delicious and healthy meal on hand. Plan it out. Meal prep if you want. Abandon truly unhealthy and horrible fast food entirely. I can go on and on about food. Enjoy meals out with friends and family, and when the opportunity arises and it makes sense, then spend. Treat your people, treat yourself. But never go out to eat just because you don't have anything prepared. Always be prepared with healthy snacks. Fruits, nuts, and vegetables. I'm kind of... Okay. I prioritize refined sugars over fructose and glucose that comes from fruits and vegetables. Let that sink in. Either way, we're avoiding sugar. Health is wealth. Make the default option wholesome food from a reasonable grocery store. And I got an Amex credit card to get 3% off your, 3% cash back on grocery stores. Link in the description. Because nobody goes fat or broke on almonds and eggs. Avoid candy and soda from vending machines. Are you serious? You getting little snacks? Come on. Have some willpower. Have some self-respect. Personal insurance and pensions. Look, this is something I'm still navigating myself, but the primary purpose of insurance should be to eliminate distractions from life and other financial pursuits. You're paying into something so that when surprises happen in life, as they do, you're not caught off guard, hey? Proper insurance should allow you to go about your day without having to make decisions based on fear. Yeah? You shouldn't be afraid to drive around and get in an accident. You shouldn't be afraid to have a sickness unduly devastate your life. And you shouldn't be afraid for the affairs of your family, your heirs, if you happen to die. A personal decision where amount and type of coverage should be left to self-education, followed by the help of a great insurance agent. I'm not that person. Typically, the best way to reduce insurance premiums, the amount you have to pay, is to increase the deductibles. Those aspiring to financial freedom quickly save 5 to 10K or more and manage their money so that they always have access to funds. So a $3,000 deductible is not a big deal. Make sure your insurance protects you from devastating problems that might otherwise end you. Think twice before buying insurance for minor expenses that are unlikely to end you. If you can afford to take a couple losses on some stuff, so be it. You know, we're insuring things that will protect us so that we don't die. Failure to have insurance at all can be disastrous. So manage your risk. High deductibles make more sense generally. I understand that companies like Lemonade are revolutionizing the insurance game. There's some really interesting stuff coming out of the world of insurance, and I'll probably make some videos on that. Mitigate the need for more expensive policies by maintaining a strong cash position in day-to-day life. You never know when you want to deploy that cash. Yes, cash in the bank is burning away, but we have stablecoin for that. There's another video for that. Choose high deductibles and liquidate cash reserves to cover emergencies if needed. Healthcare. It's obviously important to visit your health people regularly. Skipping out on health insurance is generally not a good way to save money. It is wise to get excellent coverage, high deductible plans, and low premiums. And of course, Martin Mondays, regular and intense exercise, high intensity interval training, fasting, eliminating sugar. It's one of the most effective things you can do to be a healthier, happier person. Walking bike to work and you're already there. You really, if you're strapped for time, you don't have to, because you're moonlighting, you're working on your business at night and you're doing everything you got to do to become free. And the rest of your time is taken up by work. Just by walking or biking to work, hey, that's your workout. That's your workout, baby. Entertainment. It's 5% of your expenditure. If you wipe out your, the big ones, housing and transportation costs, and you adopt a healthy and low-cost diet, then you can triple this expenditure to 15% and call it even. You can have fun within your means, because the fondest and most memorable experiences are found here. One of the last places you look to cut costs is the things that make you the most happy in life. Paid TV. A waste of time and money. It's possible to watch thousands of shows for very low cost on all this stuff here. You got Pluto TV as well. I was a professional with this. I went door to door talking about Google Fiber. I was a brand ambassador for them. And, so many people spending $200, $300 on cable and all this stuff. Like, spend $50 with just a solid internet connection and you can do everything. Local channels are free. Get yourself the bunny ears. Slap on that digital antenna to your window and there you go, hey? Subscriptions. We got plenty of options. A lot of these credit cards that I push and peddle, that I personally use, have plenty of offers. I just canceled my Paramount Plus, but the card I was using to fund that was giving me cash back on that. I'm not just, I'm having my 15% entertainment expenditure, but even those I do in a smart way. You can too. Apparel and services. Avoid unnecessary waste. And stay below $50. Gifts, alimony, charity, child support. These things don't really need to be cut. And they're cost deductible, including transportation costs through a donation place. So anytime you do these good works, the tax code here in America favors that. You can do good and do well by doing good. Education. This is 2.5% of your budget, but do not underestimate the power of education. In 2020 last year, I spent $14,000 in education. Businesses understand their need to dedicate their budgets to invest in their own education. Invest in stocks and crypto and whatever else, but ultimately the biggest investment is in yourself. Research and development budget, right? And other, you got some optional, situational, dependent expenses. Regularly track your money, but keep that end goal in mind. Time freedom, financial freedom. That end goal gets me going. I raise a couple decibels just because I get so fired up about it. Make sure the miscellaneous expenses do contribute to your health and your end goal. So, in conclusion, saving 15% by cutting out your social life is not going to make you rich, eh? You need to save 50% or more of your income. Personally, I'm at 60%. Sorry, 66.666%. I'm trying to go even higher. Cut out anything that does not contribute to your happiness. And have pride in living frugally. Look at Elon Musk. He just bought like a 50K house. So, like just a humble abode in the middle of Texas so he can be closer to his work. Not have these crazy commutes from to and fro his gigafactory. There's a lot to be said about lifestyle minimalism. Think about everything that you're saving. People, planet, profit. Don't sacrifice on the small things, just do the big things right.